Hey everyone, I'm officially home. As you can see, this was my background back in the day before I left to go to Jordan. So I'm back here. I finally got my electricity back because I was in here for 6 months. They switched it off downstairs, so I had to get from my neighbors, one of the guys to come here. Anyways, I don't know where to begin. I really do not know where to begin with how yesterday, we're living in a world where internet has really made us numb to our feelings. So because I didn't have internet or electricity yesterday, I came back here pretty much in the afternoon. I was really sitting with my emotions and my feelings of how I feel coming back here. And I'll get so as soon as I walked in the door, my kitchen window was like wide open. So this window went through the February extreme winter here that we experience in Gyumri. Gyumri is colder than our Yerevan. Not as cold as Vanator, but it's pretty cold. It's been very cold comparing to Aqaba, I'll tell you that. So my balcony door was open. So I'm just thinking, I'm sitting there on my bed and I'm looking around. I'm looking at every little minuscule detail, sitting with how I feel, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Next month is June. I'm going to the real estate. I'm gonna sell this. I can't live here. I'm just thinking this to myself. And then I remembered I bought 2 bags of sage leaves. It's supposed to be for tea, but you can always burn it for the comfort of your home. It cleanses negativity. Fresh sage from Dana that I got in Ayla. And the girl, the owner, one of the owners, or the daughter or the mother, I can't remember, when she had met me when I went there and I bought it, it's like this like organic gift shop, and they have like soaps and everything, and a lot of the money goes to women and whatever, children. She's like, why do I feel like you're more Arab? You have this thing to you, you're more Arab. So anyways, they had this Arabic book, so I bought this Arabic book as well. But I lit the sage and I burned it, the entire apartment. And I was making dua and I'm praying to Allah and I'm saying, please just show me the path. Ease my comfort. And the sage, it's so fresh. It calmed my nerves. And I'm like, I'm not even, because I'm going to have to change the door and the window and then probably repaint all over again and so on and so forth. This entire building, there's so many, it constantly has to be, because I live in an earthquake area. The windows, everything shifts, I'm lucky it didn't break. Nothing broke. Everything was intact when I came back. Maybe the heater bar, the one pipe came off. So the gas guy is going to come today or tomorrow. But I felt this ease immediately. And then I bumped into a bunch of my neighbors, and I haven't seen a group of people so happy. I was leaving in my neighborhood. I just left. And everybody knew I was gone. So they were so happy to see me with their big grins on their faces. Everyone's flocking to me in a circle. They're blessing me. They're giving me these beautiful blessings. Some of them were worried for me. They're like, you left Armenia and you're in an area where it's almost war zone 2 near Israel. I'm like, yeah, what's the problem? So, do you guys remember last year in my video, I was saying how there's my neighbor, she works at a grocery store. Literally, like the wall where my bed is, they're angled in that area. They're in the other side. Her husband was killed by a Russian. Her husband was in the mafia. I remember it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I heard a shotgun go off. Yeah, I didn't tell them anything. I didn't tell anybody that I want to leave, or I just said I'm leaving again in like 6 7 months. And they're all like, you know what, you're a citizen of this country. This house apartment is your apartment. It belongs to you. Armenia is slowly developing to become a better country. Don't give up your citizenship. Look. In the dua that I was making to Allah, I was like, please show me a sign what I should do. Don't sell your apartment. Keep your citizenship. If you have to go to Jordan, if you have to travel, if you have to do for work, if you have to do for what, go 6 months, a year, every year. Just don't give up your place. I'm like, I don't have the time or the energy to go back and forth, you know. And she's like, I'm like, the windows. She's like, that's fine. Change the doors, change the windows, paint. It's your house. Repaint it. So before I left to go to Jordan, I gave, I think, about 2 or 3 huge garbage bags worth of clothing of 5 years, 6 years. And because when I went to Jordan, I bought nothing but Jordanian clothing, and a bunch of hijabs. So when I got back, whatever I had left other than 2 or 3 sweaters, again, this morning I gave it away. Just clean house, you know, start fresh. And I have to be super patient with myself and not push myself to make decisions like immediately, you know. And yeah, maybe I should just do this whole 6 months thing, like I said earlier, for a few years, 6 months there, 6 months here, until things start to change. So from Yerevan to come to Gyumri, the driver that came, you know how I was talking about Armenians are negative and everybody loves to tell me their life stories? Immediately the driver, what he's telling me. So on my way out of the hotel, the apartment that I was in, I think I'm not in the mood to talk. But to get to the point, I was saying something about my luggage, because I have 2 luggages. And I had to call a taxi to take me, the driver to take me to Gyumri. So the guy had told me, if you need help downstairs, let me know so I can help you bring the luggage down. And I'm informing the girl, she's like, he's not here. So I'm saying to her, Yergu Jambrugunem, which Jambruk in Armenian means luggage. It's the authentic word for luggage. She's looking at me like, huh? Then she starts speaking in Russian. I go, you don't know what Jambruk means. These local people that can't speak, they don't even know Armenian words. This is horrible. Anyways, the driver comes, and as soon as I get in the car, he starts opening up to me on how his wife was kidnapped. Yeah, but you know, that apartment that I was in, that I was recording from a few days ago, the last day there was an Iranian Armenian party going on. They were having a blast, but I wasn't attending. I went in the morning and then I left. So in the car, because it's about 2 hours, 10-20 minute drive to Gyumri, the man, he just starts opening up to me, him and his blue eyes. He's telling me how he never married again. He never remarried. His wife, he woke up one morning, his wife disappeared with all her gold and gold jewelry. She abandoned her kids. The kids were young. They have 2 children, boy and a girl. 20-30 years passed. Not her sister and brother, not her parents ever heard from her again. And I'm listening to him. I'm like, yeah, I think she's dead. And I said to him, I'm like, she must have been in some form of mafia. And he's like, the military and the police, they blamed me. He's like, since then I couldn't remarry. He's like, I met women. He's like, I just couldn't do it. Very chill man. Very chill. But usually the chill ones are even more psychotic, because I can be that way, where I'm like very respectful, and then, but if someone pushes me, I'm a different person. Yeah, he's like, they were blaming me. They were like, you set her up. You sold her off to the mafia or something. And I'm just looking at him, like he's looking at me while he's driving, and I can see his expressions. And I'm thinking to myself, wherever I go, people love to tell me their life story without me even saying anything. I think I triggered him because I showed up alone. coming out of this apartment with 2 luggages. So I think something triggered him, his memory, seeing, you know what I'm saying, a female. I used to wear a lot of makeup back in the day. And I feel like I'm going to start to wear again, like powder and maybe some eyeliner like this. Because I stopped wearing makeup for so many years because I just wanted to be ugly and overweight and unattractive and unappealing to people so that they could just leave me alone. You know? Look at the difference. Magda and Aish brought me Saudi Arabian kohl eyeliner. I still haven't even worn it. I think I'm going to start to wear it. On that note, people were asking me about Magda and Aish. I never told anybody, but Aish is scared the bejeepers of me. He fled the scene when he saw me get into a fight with that Egyptian guy. He's like, I've never seen a woman like you. Him and the Egyptian guy were both shocked, especially Aish. He's like, I've never seen a woman like you in my life too. Everybody says that. He got so terrified that I'm not even kidding. And this is the guy who, if you hear him in the messages, he is all big talk. And I haven't spoken to Magda because I cut her off immediately because they both fled the scene because they thought I'm going to get them in. Okay, so look behind my balcony what they have built in the last 6 months. They built these they built the street here. And these buildings are finally done. They were originally built for the people of Gyumri that had survived the earthquake, or the villagers who came and lived here after people left or passed away and died from the earthquake that happened in 1988, the major big one. So a lot of them were living in domiks, which are like basically caravan homes, so they built these for them, but basically who's living in here are the people of Artsakh, Gharapagh, who fled. And since I've been in Jordan, this has been built basically. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, it's sad. A lot of the youth, maybe 20 and younger, maybe even 30s and younger, they don't speak proper Armenian. And when I say proper Armenian, they're mixing a bunch of different languages and they just lost touch with the authentic words, So I went to this pharmacy because I wanted to grab a few things when I was in Yerevan, when I was saying I was on Armenagyan Street. And I think it was the same day, yesterday or the day before. So I want to get a new hairbrush, I go to the girl, I'm saying in Armenian, say Mazi Sanır. And she's looking at me like, Inch? What? Mazi Sanır. And she's like, what, like, incha, edi incha. What is that? You don't know what hairbrush means. This is so sad. This is so sad. It's interesting because the first time I went to Jordan, the first time I went to Jordan at the airport, women check women, men check men when you're entering the security. And when the woman is about to check me, she's saying to me in Russian, I'm going to do a body check on you, which is normal. And I go to her, I'm like, she's in my face. I go to her, I'm like, speak to me in Armenian. I'm Armenian, you speak to me in Armenian. And she looks at me, and next to me, there's the guy, right? Security. And she's continuing in Russian. The guy turns around and he goes, what don't you understand? To her. She's saying, speak to me in Armenian. She has Armenian words on her face. She's not Russian. What don't you understand? Speak to her in Armenian. And I'm like, exactly. Sometimes I can be really direct. I bite my tongue a lot of times, don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about Zvartnots airport. I'm not talking about the Jordanian airport. I'm talking about when you're entering the airport in Yerevan. This is what happened there. And I'm telling her in Armenian, I'm saying, speak to me in Armenian, in the Armenian language. And then she's switching to Russian and she's still speaking in Russian. And I've noticed a lot of people do that here. It doesn't, because they don't know how to, it's a complex mix of a bunch of stuff where they have a hard time understanding other dialects. They have a hard time understanding real, genuine Armenian words. So the next thing for them is to speak Russian. I don't speak Russian. This country is not Russia. This is Armenia. Strengthen your Armenian. You know what I'm saying? You see, I have Armenian citizenship. My last name is Armenian. I'm speaking to you in Armenian. Speak internet. Gyumri, Armenian to English, it translates as suitcase, but originally it's the original word for luggage in Armenian. But they're calling it bagage. So in Gyumri, almost everyone believes I'm part of the mafia. Here's the thing though, almost everyone is in the mafia in Armenia or is somewhat associated with the mafia. So, because somebody was like, oh, did somebody get into your apartment? No, nobody would mess with me. That's all due to the shifts of the apartment. But were so genuinely happy to see me. And they were just kind of like helping me out and, doing some stuff. But yeah, the lady, my neighbor, who her husband got shot, she's like looking at me and she's thinking, and she's like genuinely worried. She's not telling me what she's thinking. Oh no, even the local mafias here in my neighborhood, they wouldn't. They've told me years ago that all the neighbors say, don't mess with Talar, don't talk to her, don't look at her. Just high and by. Because I've accomplished some things here, I'll tell you that. But look, with Armenians, word of mouth gets around in a split second. If I didn't even tell them where I left and everybody found out, there you go, okay? But yeah, when I got back to this apartment, everything was exactly where I left it. The only thing is maybe one of the pots that was near the window fell down due to the heavy winter. So somebody was saying about the Gyumri guys beating up the Yemeni if you came here. Listen, Gyumri is where all the athletes are basically stem from. Wrestlers, athletes, okay? Bigger guys, built. They're bodybuilders. So years ago, I had a thing or two with a few of them that were trying, and because I turned them down and rejected them, and this is several years of it ongoing process, because Armenian men, you can't turn down an Armenian man, they don't take it easy. They're not like Muslim men. Muslim men, they calculate. Like, how am I going to talk to her? You can see mentally they're trying to figure out something when they're in front of you to talk to you, because it's not okay to just randomly go up to a woman and talk to her in a Muslim country, that is. Armenian men are different. Okay? So, how do I know they would? Well, because one, I know their characters. Two, it's happened before where a fight broke out when they saw me with someone else. Even though there was a group of us, men and women. It's not like I was with the person either. So in Armenian culture, it's not okay to go up to women and touch them either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how they pursue a woman. They don't take no for an answer easily. Until they physically see you with a man, they're not going to take a no as an answer. And then when they see you physically with another man, if it happens, and the guy looks lesser or is lesser than them in how they perceive it to be wary of a good challenge to come. I'm just letting you know. I just know how they operate. So a few years back, I was with a group of people, men and women, and one of the guys that I had turned down, he saw me talking to in the group. It's perfect. There's men and women around, where it's a group of us. We're at this cultural event. And one of the athletes, he sees me and he's like, Talat, I'm better than him. You turned me down for this. Why? Come to me. I'll treat you so much better. And I'm literally like, oh my, no. But it's like a huge ego hit, especially for Armenian men. It will take years. If an Armenian guy has their eyes on you, it will take years and years and years of pursuing for him to back down. I'm just letting you know. That's just how it is. And then literally a physical fight broke out. Threats went off, physical fights, this party with that party, his friends with their friends. Oh, and then, you know, the usual, I get blamed for things. The whole cultural events, the leaders that are who orchestrated the entire events, they had to get in there physically to pull everybody apart. Oh my gosh. One of the guys' names was Gorun. There's Darun and Gorun. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So they had to physically take them away. And yeah, you know, I'm going to get blamed for this. Even though I'm not... Listen, I was invited. I didn't even want to go. I got pushed to go. And I'm trying to stay away from everybody. So I don't get involved in drama because everybody is there. And then look what happens. So this, you know, this is why I try to stay away from everything, because it's always, I'm always put in these situations that, you know, I don't want to be blamed or triggered people to become more triggered and act out, you know what I mean?